We've all dreamt of it, haven't we? That magical, heart-stopping moment. You're dusting off a quirky old trinket from the attic, something you've looked at 1,000 times, and you decide on a whim to take it to be appraised. It's that feeling of quiet hope, the thrill of the unknown, that makes shows like Antiques Roadshow so utterly captivating. It's a lottery ticket for the nostalgic soul. For one man, that dream spiraled into a breathtaking reality, leaving an expert utterly speechless and reaffirming that priceless treasures can be found in the most unexpected of places. It was a day like any other on the set of the beloved PBS show. People from all walks of life lined up, clutching their family heirlooms and flea market finds. Then a gentleman stepped forward, placing a familiar yet somehow unique figure on the table. It was the Michelin Man, that portly, joyful mascot made of stacked white tires. But there was something different about this one. It had an air of history, a story etched into its plaster surface. The expert, a man who has dedicated his life to sifting through the relics of the past, leaned in, his professional curiosity immediately piqued. The guest began to share the object's simple, heartfelt origin story. "I brought you what I think is a very early Michelin Man," he explained, a fond smile touching his lips. "My wife gave me this about 20 years ago as a birthday present. It's a story that instantly warms the heart. This wasn't a calculated investment or a piece sought out for its value. It was a gift of love." He continued, "She knows I like old advertising pieces, and managed to find this at a yard sale." The expert, intrigued, inquired about the price. The man replied, "A yard sale, yes," and told me she paid $7 for it. $7. The price of a couple of coffees or a fast food lunch. A small, almost insignificant sum for an object that had brought 2 decades of quiet joy to a collector's heart. This is where the story pivots from a sweet anecdote to a genuinely stunning discovery. The valuer's eyes lit up, a genuine, unscripted excitement washing over his face. He confessed to the guest, "I was really excited when I saw this, because I love advertising pieces, and I have a particular affinity for this character." This wasn't just another appraisal for him, it was personal. He was looking at a piece of history he thought he knew inside and out, but this specific version was a complete mystery. He began to weave the tale of the iconic mascot, known officially as Bibendum. He explained that back in the early 1900s, as the automobile was changing the face of America, the French tire company Michelin created promotional plaster statuettes like this one specifically for the American market. They were meant to sit on shop counters, cheerfully greeting customers and building brand loyalty. Then came the bombshell. Looking intently at the figure, the expert's voice filled with awe. He said what truly made his pulse race was the sheer size of the piece. "What makes me so excited about your figure is I have never ever seen a figure this size," he declared, emphasizing each word. "And I've seen several collections." Imagine that for a moment. An expert who has seen, handled, and valued thousands of artifacts, some of the rarest in the world, is now staring at a $7 yard sale find and admitting he's never encountered anything like it. This was not just a rare item, it was a ghost, a piece of advertising history so unique it had escaped the notice of even the most dedicated collectors and experts. He pointed out a small, fascinating detail. The figure's mouth was positioned in such a way that it almost certainly once held a cigar, a common and rather dapper feature for figures of that era, dating this specific piece to around 1925. It was a tangible link to the Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, innovation, and burgeoning car culture. The moment of truth arrived. The guest, who had been listening with rapt attention, was about to find out what his wife's thoughtful $7 gift was truly worth. The expert paused, building the suspense. "It is really hard to put a value on an object that I have never seen," he admitted, a line that sends shivers down the spine of any Antiques Roadshow fan. "It's the preamble to something big." He carefully considered his words. "I think it could be worth $1,200 to $1,500. A wave of shock and delight washed over the guest's face. From $7 to over $1,000 is the kind of return on investment anyone would celebrate, but the expert wasn't finished. Maybe even $1,800. The guest was stunned into a single, breathless word. "Wow." He looked down at the Michelin Man, this cherished birthday gift, with entirely new eyes. He shook his head in disbelief, a wide grin spreading across his face. Not a bad investment, he managed to say, the understatement of the year. It's a story that reminds us that the value of an